Aging is a journey that we all embark on, yet the final stages of life remain one of the most delicate and often misunderstood phases. When a senior is approaching the end, their body and mind go through subtle but profound changes. These signs are easy to overlook, especially because they often resemble the natural progression of aging. However, recognizing them can make a world of difference in ensuring that our loved ones receive the comfort, care, and emotional support they deserve. Before we begin, if you have ever cared for an elderly family member or know someone who is in this stage of life, leave a comment below. Share your thoughts and experiences. It might help others going through the same journey. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like, as this encourages us to bring more valuable content to you. Now let's explore these silent changes, subtle yet significant signs that a senior may be in the final stages of life. 1. Drastic loss of appetite and weight. One of the earliest and most noticeable changes is a significant decrease in appetite. As the body begins to slow down, the need for energy diminishes. Seniors may start refusing meals they once enjoyed, pushing their plates away after just a few bites, or even showing a complete disinterest in food. This isn't just a phase. It's a signal that the body is prioritizing essential functions over digestion. Weight loss follows naturally, and while some may attribute it to aging, a sudden and unexplained decline in weight is a red flag. The muscles weaken, the face becomes more gaunt, and clothes fit looser. At this stage, digestion becomes more difficult, and the body starts conserving its remaining energy for vital functions. Many families struggle with this change, insisting their loved ones eat more, trying different diets, or even turning to supplements. While the intention is good, it's important to understand that forcing food can cause discomfort. Instead, the focus should shift to providing small, easily digestible meals and prioritizing hydration. The key is not to fight against the body's natural process, but to support it with comfort and care. 2. Increased fatigue and sleeping. More than usual. Another subtle but crucial change is extreme fatigue. It's normal for older adults to feel tired more often, but when sleep becomes their primary state of being, it signals something deeper. The body starts conserving energy, and everyday tasks like walking, talking, or even sitting up become exhausting. A senior in their final stages of life may sleep for long hours, sometimes appearing disoriented or unresponsive when awake. Conversations may be shorter and responses slower. This isn't a sign of laziness or depression, it's the body's way of gently retreating. During this phase, patience and understanding are essential. Speaking softly, being present, and offering reassurance through touch can bring immense comfort. It's a time to cherish moments, even in silence, knowing that presence alone can be the greatest source of peace. 3. Changes in social behavior and withdrawal. A once talkative and social person may suddenly seem distant. They might withdraw from conversations, avoid gatherings, or prefer to be alone. It's not uncommon for seniors nearing the end of life to lose interest in the outside world. This isn't personal, nor is it a sign of rejection. It's a natural shift in focus, one that turns inward. The energy once spent on socializing is now being redirected toward internal reflection. Some may even begin to speak less or seem lost in thought, as if preparing themselves for what's to come. For loved ones, this can be difficult to witness. The urge to keep them engaged, to encourage interaction, and to bring them back can be strong. But rather than forcing connection, it's more meaningful to meet them where they are, offering quiet companionship, listening when they do speak, and simply being present in whatever way they need. 4. Increased confusion and cognitive changes. As the body slows down, the mind often follows. A senior in their final stages of life may experience confusion, disorientation, or difficulty recognizing familiar faces and places. This can be unsettling for loved ones, especially when a parent or grandparent forgets a name or seems lost in their own home. This cognitive decline is not necessarily a sign of dementia. It is a natural part of the body shutting down. Moments of clarity may come and go, with some days being better than others. A person might suddenly recall a vivid memory from decades ago, only to forget what happened earlier in the day. Hallucinations or vivid dreams can also become more frequent. Some may talk to loved ones who have already passed or describe seeing things that aren't there. While this may seem concerning, it is often a sign that their mind is preparing for the transition ahead. Patience is key in these moments. Correcting or arguing with them may cause distress, so instead, Gentle reassurance is the best approach. A calm voice, a familiar touch, and an environment filled with comfort can make all the difference. Even if they do not fully recognize those around them, the feeling of love and warmth remains. 5. Changes in breathing patterns. One of the most striking signs that a senior is approaching the final stages of life is a noticeable shift in their breathing. This change can manifest in different ways, sometimes as shallow, slow breaths, and other times as deep, irregular gasps. A common pattern observed is called Cheney-Stokes respiration, where breathing becomes uneven, with long pauses followed by deep, labored breaths. At first, this may be alarming, but it is a natural part of the body's process. In the final days or hours, congestion can build up, causing a rattling sound with each breath. This is sometimes referred to as the death rattle. Although it may sound distressing, it is usually not painful. Keeping the person's head slightly elevated and providing a calm, quiet space can help ease any discomfort. Witnessing these changes can be emotionally challenging for family members. However, understanding that this is a natural transition can bring a sense of peace. Being present, holding a hand, and offering words of reassurance can make this time meaningful. 6. Decreased circulation and body temperature changes. As the body starts conserving energy for essential functions, circulation slows down. Blood flow becomes weaker, and as a result, the extremities, such as hands, feet, and even the nose and ears, may feel cold to the touch. A pale or bluish tint may appear on the skin, especially on the fingers and toes. This is known as mottling, a sign that circulation is becoming limited. Some individuals may complain of feeling cold, even in a warm room, while others may not notice temperature changes at all. Layers of soft, breathable blankets can provide warmth and comfort, but it is important not to overheat them. Since their body is no longer regulating temperature as effectively, excessive heat can cause discomfort. Instead, gentle touches, warm socks, and a peaceful environment can bring the most relief. At this stage, caregivers and loved ones should focus on ensuring the person feels secure. A soothing presence, quiet music, and a calm atmosphere can offer immense comfort in these final moments. 7. The body's gradual withdrawal from the physical world. In the final stages of life, the body begins a slow but intentional process of detaching from the physical world. This withdrawal isn't sudden, rather, it unfolds over days or even weeks. Energy levels diminish, and simple actions like opening the eyes, lifting a hand, or responding to a voice become increasingly difficult. Speech becomes infrequent, sometimes reducing to only a few whispered words or brief phrases. In some cases, communication stops altogether, with expressions and subtle movements becoming the primary means of interaction. This doesn't mean the person is unaware. On the contrary, they may still hear, feel, and sense the presence of those around them, even if they no longer respond verbally. For loved ones, this phase can be one of the most emotional. It's natural to want to hold on to every last moment, to encourage them to speak or stay awake a little longer. But the best gift during this time is to offer peace and reassurance. Holding their hand, speaking softly, and simply being present can create a deep sense of comfort. At this point, many individuals experience moments of deep reflection, even if they do not express them aloud. Some may show signs of inner peace, while others may still hold on to unresolved emotions. Providing an environment filled with love, calmness, and acceptance can help ease their transition. The emotional and spiritual aspect of letting go. Beyond the physical changes, there is an emotional and spiritual aspect to the final stages of life. Some individuals seem to wait for a specific moment, perhaps to see a loved one one last time, or to hear certain words before they feel ready to go. Others may show signs of internal conflict, as if struggling between holding on and letting go. It's not uncommon for a person to have a sudden burst of energy where they appear more awake, engage in conversation, or even eat a meal after days of not eating. This phenomenon, sometimes called a rally, can give families hope, only for the person to decline shortly afterward. While difficult to witness, this is a natural part of the process. For those who believe in something beyond this life, this stage can carry deep meaning. Many express seeing loved ones who have passed, speaking of a bright light, or describing a sense of peace. Regardless of one's beliefs, these moments can be comforting, both for the individual and for those around them. Supporting a loved one through this stage means embracing both the emotional and the physical aspects of their journey. It is a time to offer not just medical or physical care, but also emotional reassurance. It is a time for forgiveness, gratitude and love, to say what needs to be said and to give the person the permission to rest. How to provide comfort in the final days. As the final transition nears, comfort becomes the most important focus. Medical interventions often take a backseat to quality of life, ensuring that the individual is as pain-free and at ease as possible. Here are a few ways to provide comfort in these last moments. Create a peaceful environment. Soft lighting, gentle music, and a quiet atmosphere can make a world of difference. Keep them physically comfortable. Adjust pillows, reposition them gently, and ensure they are warm but not overheated. Offer presence, not pressure. Speak to them but don't force conversation. Sometimes, silent companionship is enough. Say what's in your heart. If there are words left unspoken, now is the time. Express love, gratitude, and reassurance. Respect their process. Every individual's journey is unique. Allow them to go at their own pace, without trying to control or rush the moment. Though the approaching end of life is deeply painful for those left behind, it is also a sacred time, an opportunity to show unconditional love in its purest form. In these last moments, what matters most is not prolonging life at all costs, but making each remaining moment meaningful. The subtle signs of the final hours. As the body enters its final hours, the changes become more distinct. Each breath, each moment of stillness, carries a deeper meaning. Time seems to slow, and those around the individual often feel a shift in energy, something unspoken but profoundly present. One of the most noticeable signs is a further slowing of the breath. The pauses between breaths grow longer, sometimes lasting several seconds, before another shallow inhale follows. The chest may rise and fall with great effort, or breathing may become so quiet that it's barely perceptible. These changes signal that the body is nearing its natural conclusion, conserving only the most essential functions. Circulation continues to decrease, leading to a deepening of the bluish or purplish tint on the hands, feet, and lips. Skin may appear waxy, cool to the touch, and increasingly fragile. The body is no longer regulating temperature, making warm blankets or gentle touches important for comfort. The eyes, once alert and expressive, may remain half open or appear glassy. They might not focus on anything specific, gazing into the distance as if looking beyond the physical world. Sometimes, a loved one will describe the sensation that the person is seeing something beyond their immediate surroundings, possibly familiar faces from the past or visions unique to their experience. The final hours can bring a mix of emotions for both the individual and those around them. It's a time of profound silence, yet filled with unspoken words. For many, this stage is accompanied by an overwhelming sense of peace, an acceptance that the journey is coming to an end. The role of loved ones. In these moments, for family members and caregivers, witnessing this transition is deeply emotional. Every instinct may tell them to hold on, to fight against the inevitable. But the greatest gift in this moment is the act of letting go with love, whispering words of reassurance, holding their hand, and simply being present can bring comfort. There is no need for long speeches or desperate pleas. Sometimes a simple, "I love you," or "It's okay, you can rest now," is all that is needed. For those who struggle with this moment, it's important to remember that even if the person can no longer respond, they can still hear and feel. The presence of a loved one provides an unspoken comfort, a reassurance that they are not alone in their final passage. The final breath. The last breath often arrives without warning. It may be a deep inhale followed by a long silent pause, or it may be a gradual fading, each breath growing softer until there is nothing left. For those in the room, this moment is unlike any other. It is the culmination of a lifetime, the closing of a chapter that can never be rewritten. There is often a stillness that follows, a quiet that fills the space in a way words cannot describe. Though grief begins immediately, there is also an undeniable sense of reverence, a profound recognition that life has completed its cycle, that a soul has transitioned from one existence to whatever lies beyond. Some family members report feeling a warmth in the room, a presence, or even a gentle sense of release. While these experiences vary, one truth remains universal. Love does not end with the final breath. It lingers in the memories, the lessons, and the impact left behind. What comes next? After the final breath, there is a period of stillness. It is a time to honor, to reflect, and to allow emotions to flow naturally. There is no rush, no need to fill the silence with unnecessary words. Some families choose to spend a few more moments in quiet companionship, holding the hand of their loved one, speaking soft farewells, or even playing a favorite song. This is a deeply personal time, and there is no right or wrong way to experience it. Grief does not follow a set schedule. In the days that follow, emotions may come in waves, sometimes gentle, sometimes overwhelming. The reality of loss settles in, and life must find a way to continue, even in the absence of someone who once filled it so profoundly. But even in this pain, there is beauty. The final moments of life, though heartbreaking, are also a testament to the love shared. It is a reminder that every moment matters, that presence is the greatest gift, and that even in parting, love remains. Coping with the loss, the first days without them. In the first days after a loved one's passing, reality slowly settles in. There is often a surreal feeling, as if time has paused, yet the world continues moving forward. Every corner of the home, every familiar scent, and every quiet moment serves as a reminder of their absence. Grief manifests in many ways. Some people cry uncontrollably, while others feel numb, unable to fully process the loss. There may be an instinct to stay busy, making funeral arrangements, notifying family members, and handling logistics. While these tasks provide a temporary distraction, the weight of grief always finds its way through. It's important to allow emotions to flow naturally. There is no right or wrong way to grieve, no perfect script for how to mourn. Some moments will be overwhelming, while others may bring unexpected peace. Memories that once brought comfort may now feel painful, but over time they will become cherished reminders of a life well lived. Understanding the stages of grief. Grief is not linear. It does not follow a predictable path. However, many people experience common emotional stages, even if they don't occur in a specific order. Denial. The mind struggles to accept reality. The loss feels unreal, as if the person might return at any moment. Anger. Frustration arises. Anger at the situation, at life, or even at the person for leaving. It's a natural part of processing loss. Bargaining. Thoughts of what if and if only I had surface. This is the mind's attempt to make sense of something that feels unbearable. Depression. A deep sadness settles in, accompanied by fatigue, loss of interest in daily activities, and emotional heaviness. Acceptance. Over time, the pain softens. The loss remains, but there is a newfound ability to move forward while still honoring the memory of the loved one. These stages do not always follow a straight line. Some days, there may be moments of peace, only for grief to return unexpectedly. This is normal, and it's important to be patient with the healing process. Finding comfort in shared memories. One of the most powerful ways to cope with loss is by keeping memories alive. This can be done in various ways. Looking through old photographs and videos, remembering the joy and laughter shared, sharing stories with family and friends, keeping their legacy present in daily life, creating a small tribute, such as a memory book, a handwritten letter, or planting a tree in their honor, listening to their favorite music, visiting their favorite places, or continuing traditions they loved. Grief often feels isolating, but it is a universal experience. Talking with others who understand the pain of loss can provide immense comfort. Whether it's a close friend, a support group, or a counselor, expressing emotions openly can ease the burden of sorrow. Honoring their legacy. The pain of losing a loved one never fully disappears, but over time it transforms. Instead of being defined solely by their absence, they become a part of every moment, every lesson, and every act of love carried forward. Honoring their legacy means embracing the values they lived by. It means being kind, offering a helping hand, and living with the same compassion they once shared. Even in grief, there is an opportunity to celebrate the life they lived and the impact they had. Some find comfort in dedicating acts of kindness in their name, volunteering, supporting causes they cared about, or simply living with the love and warmth they once gave. Their presence may no longer be physical, but their influence remains woven into the hearts of those they touched. The healing process. Learning to live again. At first, life after loss feels empty. The routines built around their presence are now met with silence. The urge to pick up the phone and call them, to share a joke, or to seek their advice remains strong. It takes time to adjust to a world where they are no longer physically present. Healing does not mean forgetting. It means learning to carry their memory forward while finding joy again. It means allowing laughter back into life without guilt, knowing they would want their loved ones to be happy. The moments of grief will still come, sometimes unexpectedly. A familiar scent, a favorite meal, or an old song can bring waves of sorrow. But with time, those moments will also bring warmth, gratitude, and love. Above all, healing means embracing the fact that love does not end with death. The connection remains in every thought, every memory, and every heart they touched. The journey toward acceptance. As time passes, grief evolves. The sharp pain of loss gradually softens into a quieter, more reflective sorrow. Life begins to take shape again, not as it once was, but as something new, reshaped by both love and loss. At first, the idea of moving forward may feel impossible. The absence of a loved one leaves a void, and stepping into the future without them can seem daunting. But healing is not about leaving them behind. It's about carrying their presence in a different way. Their love, their lessons, and their essence continue to shape those left behind. Memories that once triggered deep sadness start to bring warmth. Instead of tears, there may be smiles when recalling their laughter or the wisdom they shared. The realization sets in that their life was not just about the final moments. It was about everything they gave, every person they touched, and every act of love that continues to ripple forward. Finding meaning after loss. One of the most profound ways to heal is by finding meaning in the loss. This doesn't mean justifying or minimizing the pain. It means choosing to honor the person's life in a way that brings purpose. Some people find solace in helping others who are experiencing similar grief. Supporting a friend through their loss, volunteering in memory of a loved one, or simply being more present in relationships can transform pain into something deeply meaningful. Others find healing through creativity, writing, painting, or composing music that expresses their emotions. Art and expression can serve as a bridge between the past and the present, allowing emotions to take shape in ways words cannot always capture. For some, spirituality or personal reflection becomes a guiding force. Whether through prayer, meditation, or simply spending time in nature, many find comfort in the idea that love and energy never truly disappear. Navigating life's milestones. Without them. One of the most challenging aspects of grief is facing life's milestones without the person who once played a vital role. Birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, and everyday moments of joy can bring an acute sense of loss. But rather than avoiding these occasions, many find healing in finding ways to include their loved one in the moment. Lighting a candle, setting aside time to reflect on happy memories, or even continuing traditions they cherished can create a sense of closeness rather than emptiness. Some choose to celebrate their loved one's life on special days rather than focusing solely on their absence. Instead of mourning their birthday, for example, they might gather family and friends to share stories, look through old photos, or engage in an activity that the person once loved. With time, these moments become less about the pain of their absence and more about the gratitude for having had them in life at all. When grief becomes overwhelming, while grief is a natural process, it can sometimes become overwhelming, turning into prolonged sorrow that makes daily life difficult. When emotions become too heavy to bear alone, seeking support is not a sign of weakness. It is an act of self-care. Support can come in many forms: speaking with a trusted friend or family member who understands, joining a grief support group where others share similar experiences, seeking guidance from a therapist or counselor who specializes in loss, engaging in activities that promote emotional well-being, such as journaling, meditation, or exercise. There is no timeline for grief. Some wounds heal faster than others, while some remain tender for a lifetime. The key is to acknowledge emotions rather than suppress them, to allow oneself the grace to grieve while also embracing the possibility of joy again. Embracing life again. Though the loss of a loved one changes everything, it does not mean life must remain frozen in sorrow. The best way to honor those who have passed is to live fully, carrying their love forward. This does not mean forgetting. It does not mean replacing them or pretending the pain no longer exists. It means choosing to live in a way that reflects the love they gave, the lessons they taught, and the impact they had. One day, the weight of grief will feel lighter. The memories will bring more smiles than tears. And in those moments there will be a quiet realization: they are not truly gone. They live on, in the love shared, in the kindness given, and in the hearts of those who remember.